Welcome to the Gym Success Podcast. To all you gym owners, gym operators, managers, salespeople, gym entrepreneurs, and personal trainers listening in, we're really glad you could join us today. I'm Bonnie.
And I'm George.
And today we're diving into something absolutely foundational for your business. It's a crucial white paper by the renowned jthomas.
Yeah, and this isn't just about, reading through a document. We want to pull out the actionable stuff, the insights from his actual real-world experience in the fitness industry.
Exactly. Our goal today, our mission is pretty clear. Give you insights that aren't just interesting, but could quite literally safeguard your entire business.
We're talking fundamental security, resilience, stuff you need.
Okay, so let's unpack this. The white paper itself is called The Importance of Being Properly Insured, a Non-Negotiable for Every Gym Owner. And wow, it kicks off with this story. Imagine getting a call at 4 a.m. Changes everything.
Oh, that's a chilling thought, isn't it?
Yeah.
That jolt awake and then news that just makes your blood run cold.
Yeah. Totally. And Jim tells the story himself.
Yeah.
He was building his second gym, still under construction, right? And they'd just gotten thousands of dollars of brand new equipment delivered.
Right, the exciting part.
Yeah. He thought it was all securely chained up inside. But then, bam, 4:00 a.m., the phone rings. It's his general contractor.
Oh.
Yeah. The contractor basically says, Jim, you need to get out here. All your equipment, it's gone. Stolen.
Wow. Just vanished. To show up and see those chains cut, all that investment, gone overnight. That's a hard dose of reality about vulnerability.
It's terrifying to picture.
Yeah.
But here's the kicker, the saving grace Jim talks about. He says, thankfully, I had insurance.
Okay. That makes a difference.
A huge difference. The loss was big, obviously, but the insurance kicked in. They got the equipment replaced, kept the project going, and actually still opened on time.
Incredible. Talk about a lesson learned.
Right. Jim says that taught him something he never forgot. Insurance isn't just like protection. It's your backup plan. Your safety net. It's the bridge between total disaster and, well, resilience.
And what's fascinating there is how Jim frames gym ownership. It's not just passion and purpose, though that's huge. Fundamentally, you're running a business.
Right.
Which means, like it or not, you're running a risk management business. You might not think risk manager when you're coaching, but every decision involves risk.
Good point.
And being properly insured. That's one of the most critical risk management decisions you'll make, period.
So, okay, that's the big picture lesson from Jim's story. But what does this mean for your gym right now? Let's maybe start with the physical stuff, the building, the equipment, protecting your actual space.
Good place to start. That brings us to the first big category, protection against property damage and loss.
Okay.
The risks here are pretty obvious, things that can physically mess up your space or equipment. Theft, like Jonah story, sure, but also fire, storm damage, even vandalism.
Right, things you see happen.
Exactly. And the policy you need here is called commercial property insurance. This isn't just about replacing one treadmill. It's about safeguarding the physical foundation of your whole operation.
Makes sense.
Jim points out, even one incident here can set you back months, or worse, just shut you down completely if you're not covered. It's designed to replace or repair everything. Your equipment, flooring, mirrors, HVAC, the works.
So it's pretty comprehensive then.
It should be. And here's a really practical tip from the paper. Inventory everything. Keep photos, keep receipts, and store them off-site, like in the cloud or somewhere safe.
Ah, smart. So if something does happen, you've got proof for the claim.
Precisely. Makes the recovery process way smoother.
Okay, so that's the physical stuff. But gyms are about people, right? Members, trainers.
Yeah.
What about the human element? That feels like where things could get complicated, legally speaking.
You're absolutely right. And that leads us straight into the second area, liability coverage. This is huge.
Yeah, I bet. What kind of risks are we talking about here?
It's broad. Things slip and falls, obviously, but also claims of trainer negligence. Someone says they got injured following a trainer's advice, or even issues from your marketing claims, believe it or not. And Jim's pretty blunt here. He says, in today's world, lawsuits aren't, rare. They're kind of expected. One bad injury claim can easily spiral into six-figure legal battles.
Oof. That could sink a business fast.
Totally. So your coverage needs a few layers. First is general liability. That's your broad protection for bodily injury or property damage happening on your premises, the classic slip and fall coverage.
Okay, standard stuff.
Then there's professional liability. This is crucial for gyms. It specifically covers claims related to the actual training, advice, or services you provide. Trainer-related stuff.
Right, because that's your core business.
Exactly. And if you sell anything, supplements, T-shirts, maybe even branded jump ropes, you need product liability too.
Ah, I didn't think about the merch side.
Yeah. And Jim adds some real talk here. He says lots of gyms rely on waivers.
Everyone signs one.
Right. But they don't always hold up in court. Insurance, he stresses, that's your real line of defense, your safety net when things go sideways legally.
That waiver point is sobering. Okay, so property covered, liability covered. But what if something forces you to actually close your doors for a while? Like a fire or a major flood? That's going to be a nightmare scenario.
Oh, absolutely. And that's where the third type comes in. Business interruption insurance. Think of it as your financial lifeline if you're forced to shut down temporarily.
Okay, how does that work?
The risks are things like, floods, fires, major electrical problems, anything covered that makes your gym unusable for a period. If that happens, this policy helps cover your lost income during the closure.
Oh, wow. So it replaces the money you're not making.
Helps replace it, yeah. Plus, it can cover ongoing expenses like payroll for your staff, super important, your rent or mortgage, utilities, even costs if you need to temporarily relocate.
That sounds essential.
Jim's very clear. Don't operate without it. It's your survival fund. It ensures you can actually weather the storm and reopen.
Makes total sense. Okay, moving on. A gym is nothing without its team, right? Your staff. How do you protect them if they get hurt on the job?
Good question. That brings us to number 4, employee protection, specifically workers' compensation.
Right, workers' comp. I've heard of that.
Yeah, and it's usually not optional. The risk is simple. Staff get injured doing their jobs, lifting weights, demonstrating exercises, even just slipping in the locker room.
Okay.
Workers' comp covers their medical bills, rehab costs, and lost wages if they can't work. And crucially, Jim points out, it also protects you, the business, from employee lawsuits over those injuries.
Ah, so it's a two-way street. Protects them, protects the business.
Exactly. And the key thing here, in most states, if you have employees, even just one part-timer, you are legally required to have workers' comp. Don't wait until someone gets hurt. Get it sorted when you hire.
Got it. Mandatory most places. Okay, what about threats that aren't physical? We live in a digital world now. Data breaches, hacks, gyms handle member info, credit cards.
You're hitting on a big one. Number 5, cyber liability. This is increasingly critical.
Tell me more.
The risks are exactly what you said. Data breaches, system hacks. Think about it. You're storing credit card numbers for billing, maybe health information, member addresses, emails, phone numbers.
Yeah, a lot of sensitive data.
If that gets breached, the consequences are massive. You've got costs for notifying members, providing credit monitoring, repairing your reputation, huge expense, plus potential regulatory fines.
Ouch.
Jim's advice: if you use digital billing, a CRM system, any platform storing member data, cyber liability isn't optional. It's essential. It's your shield against those invisible digital threats.
Okay, that's definitely something to check on. Now, what about things outside the gym walls? What if you use a van for outreach events or trainers drive to clients?
Great point. That's number 6, commercial auto insurance.
So different from my personal car insurance.
Absolutely different, and this trips people up. The risk is any business use of vehicles, delivering equipment, running errands for the gym, mobile training sessions. Your personal auto policy. Jim highlights it likely will not cover accidents that happen during business use. You need a specific commercial auto policy for that.
Okay, so even if it's my personal car, but I'm using it for gym business?
That's often the case, yeah. You need to clarify with your agent. His advice is blunt. Ensure every vehicle used for business. It only takes one accident without the right coverage to face, potentially crippling costs.
Makes sense. Better safe than sorry there.
Okay.
Okay, we're covering a lot of bases. Property, liability, staff, digital, auto. But what if something truly catastrophic happens, like a massive lawsuit that goes way beyond your normal liability limits?
Ah, yes. The what-if scenario. That's where number 7 comes in. Umbrella insurance.
Umbrella. Like it covers everything.
Sort of. Think of it as an extra layer of liability protection on top of your other policies, like general liability or commercial auto. The risk it covers is those major lawsuits where the judgment exceeds your primary policy limit.
Okay, give me an example.
Sure. Let's say your general liability policy maxes out at $1 million. But after a really serious incident, a court awards $2 million.
Whoa.
Without an umbrella policy, your business, or even you personally, could be on the hook for that extra $1 million. The commercial umbrella policy is designed to kick in and cover that gap.
I see. So it's extra protection for the really big, unexpected stuff.
Exactly. Jim calls it peace of mind for pennies on the dollar. He strongly advises not skipping it. It's your ultimate backstop against financial ruin from a massive claim.
Wow. Okay. And you mentioned earlier, if we sell products, merch, supplements, is there anything else specific to that?
Yes. And that brings us back to number 8, which we touched on, but it deserves its own focus: product liability insurance.
Right. For the things we sell.
Exactly. The risk profile involves any physical product you sell or distribute: apparel, supplements, branded gear, whatever. If someone claims they got sick, injured, or your product failed and caused them a loss,
You could be liable.
even for a t-shirt. Potentially, yes, if there was a defect that caused an issue, or maybe misleading claims about a supplement. This policy specifically protects you from those product-related claims.
Gotcha.
Jim's summary on this is super concise. Selling, risk. Own it. Cover it. It's just part of managing the risk that comes with expanding your revenue streams.
Okay, that's 8 different types. That's a lot to keep track of.
It is. Let's just quickly recap them so they stick. We had general liability for on-site injuries damage, commercial property for your building and gear, business interruption for forced closures, professional liability for training advice claims,
Okay.
then workers' comp for employee injuries, commercial auto for business vehicles, cyber liability for data breaches, and commercial umbrella for those huge excess claims. And of course, product liability if you sell things.
Wow. Okay, that's the landscape. Now, the big question, which of these are, like, legally required, what you absolutely have to have?
Good question, because some are mandated. Workers' comp, like we said, is legally required in most states if you have employees. No getting around that usually. Right. Commercial auto insurance is required if you use vehicles for business, same as personal auto insurance is required for your own car.
Okay, makes sense.
General liability and often commercial property are typically required by landlords. It'll be in your lease. And banks will almost certainly require them if you have a loan or mortgage.
Ah, okay. So external parties demand those.
Often, yes. And professional liability might be required depending on state regulations or licensing rules for certain professionals, like certified trainers or therapists.
So it varies a bit.
It definitely varies by state and your specific situation.
Yeah.
Jim's key advice here: you must check with a licensed insurance agent who knows your local and state rules. Don't guess. Verify.
Okay, verify locally. That's crucial. Now, the scary question. What happens if you don't have the right coverage? What are the real consequences Jim talks about?
Yeah, he doesn't sugarcoat this. He says straight up, you could lose everything. And he insists it's not just a scare tactic, it's the reality he's seen play out. He gives examples. A trainer sued for negligence, no professional liability. Personal financial ruin, a roof collapses, no property coverage. Business gone, no funds to rebuild.
Oh, man.
A slip and fall that bankrupts the gym because the general liability was too low or non-existent. A break-in, equipment stolen, no insurance, you're starting over from zero.
Just devastating.
His conclusion is stark. Without the right insurance, all your hard work, your passion, your investment, it can literally vanish in an instant. It really highlights why seeing insurance as an investment, not just an expense, is so critical.
That really puts it in perspective. It sounds like Jim closes his white paper with a pretty powerful reminder for gym owners, bringing it back to the why.
He does. He says something like, you didn't open a gym to be reckless. You opened it because you wanted to build something meaningful for your members, your staff, your family, your future.
Yeah.
And he urges you not to let one freak accident erase all of that. Insurance isn't just ticking a box. It's a strategic investment in your gym's future's longevity.
It gives you confidence, maybe?
Exactly. It gives you the power to grow boldly, hire confidently, and, maybe most importantly, sleep at night knowing you're protected.
Yeah.
It's about building resilience into your vision.
And he wraps up with one final, very practical tip, right? Something we should definitely echo.
Yes, absolutely critical. His final tip is, work with a licensed insurance agent who gets the fitness industry.
Why is that so important? Isn't all insurance kind of the same?
Not at all. Policies and agents aren't created equal. You need someone who understands the specific risks gyms face, the equipment, the types of activities, the member interactions.
Okay.
A specialist can tailor a plan that actually fits your gym, not just sell you a generic business policy. That expertise can make all the difference when you actually need to file a claim. They know the nuances.
Find someone who speaks gym. Got it. This has been incredibly eye-opening. Really hammers home why proper insurance is just non-negotiable for gym owners.
Absolutely. Protecting your vision, as Jim says, it's worth something, because it really is.
And if you're listening and thinking, okay, I need to review my policies, or you need help building systems, or just general strategic advice for your gym.
Jim Thomas is definitely a great resource. You can reach him directly. His number is 214-629-7223, or you can email him at jthomas@fmconsulting.net.
That's Jim Thomas at 214-629-7223 or jthomas at fmconsulting.net. So, as you get back to running your gym today, here's something to think about. Are you just managing the day-to-day, or are you actively managing its risks, securing its future, and really protecting that vision you've worked so incredibly hard to build?
Food for thought.
Definitely. Thanks so much for joining us for this vital discussion on gym success.
Yeah, thanks for tuning in. We look forward to bringing you more actionable insights next time.